You look so relaxed. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am. Can I run that?
Yeah. We're gonna be like passing this back and forth. Oh man, hold on. We'll probably go through this whole thing, but that's okay. But this thing is like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even in this. Hold on. We're gonna figure this out. I'm trying to think. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Oh, hell yeah. Cool. Perfect. Okay. All right. You ready? Welcome back to Terra's Time. If you listened to the first one, I appreciate you for listening. And this one, I will leave where I left off. But this episode, I brought a girl who helped me through all of this transition. Emma, say hi to the crowd.
Hello, everybody.
I brought in oh my goodness. She literally has helped me through my whole transition. She once never judged me even after I met her. So the way we met, we were going, I ended up going to a photo shoot. She was already doing a photo shoot also with the same photographers we both were working with. We never really, we said hi and that was it. And then it was like, I think it was like the next week or two, I wanted to go to this art thing, and I didn't really, everyone that I had asked to go with said they were busy or doing something, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to hit up this girl. She's a model. She seems like, you know, a good vibe. And so I ended up messaging her, being like, hey, you know, I know we use the same photographer, so, you know, would you want to go to this art thing? And so we ended up, I ended up going to pick her up, and we ended up going to this art thing, and we ended up getting there, and you had to be 21 for some reason. I guess everyone was drinking there, so we ended up not going because why?
Because I didn't have my ID, and also I wasn't 21 yet. I was only 20, so they were like, nope.
So after that, we were like, you know what, that's fine. Let's go to my house. So I can't even remember what we did. Even instead of that, we just were like, what were we doing?
We were just talking and like scheduling things for your life, and like we were just getting to know each other pretty much, and how our lives are and how different our lives are. You know, we were just talking about our experiences and like in modeling and life and family in any way, you know.
Yeah, I think I ended up telling her literally my whole life at the beginning. I told her, you know, I did this, I did sex work, you know, here I was looking for like sugar daddies, and I was telling her about all my sugar daddies. I think I ended up showing her a list that I had of all potential, you know, the winners. And that was interesting and a lot of fun. And we just vibed. And ever since then, I went to her. I felt like we had this connection. We were both Scorpios. We were both models. We both did OnlyFans.
We went through a lot of stuff in our life, both of us did, so it was a lot of things we could relate and help each other with and talk things out, like about something we couldn't talk to nobody else because they didn't go through the same experience or didn't know how to support us or talk.
Yeah, and I am like so. When I was going through my transition, y'all, she was there with me. So I ended up, this is where I'm going to leave off from the last episode. So I think it was May or June, I'm not quite sure on the date, but I ended up meeting this guy, and he ended up taking me to this festival, or we ended up going to the show, and then we ended up going to this festival. And while I went to that festival, I knew that my dad I had known before, like right before, hey, your dad's doing bad, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay. I said, well, I'm about to go on this trip. Hopefully he will be good until I can get back, and then I'll come to Oklahoma as soon as we're done. And so I ended up going to this festival. And it was literally the entire time, it was so hard to even focus on anything that was bad, because this person was such a good and positive vibe for me and such a good influence. And I don't know, so when I was out there, I got the message saying, hey, your dad's probably not going to make it until you get back. We are literally going to try to hold him off until you get back. And so my little fairy tale dream weekend came to an end. I came back home. My dad, they were like, they said, he's doing really, really bad. And I had told them, I said, you know what? I don't want to see him go through any more pain. If you guys have to let him go, please don't wait up for me to say goodbye. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm okay, and I think he'll be okay too, because he's in a lot of pain. He just wants to go. And so that ends up happening, and I end up going to his funeral. And then, so when I got back, I mourned. I did what I needed to, but then I came back to real life. And my real life, I still like this guy. And I was very, very confused, because I was doing sex work, and I was doing all this other work on the side, and I was like, I have never felt like this before. I just lost my dad. All my feelings are like in contact right now. Like, they're 100% flowing out of me, and I can't stop it. So I ended up telling this person that I liked him, and I was telling Emma, about it all, and she was like, you know what, maybe it could work. Can you let them know what you had told me?
I told her that it could work if she really wants that, and if the guy really wants that, and if both of them can work towards the same goal, and it wouldn't be just one-sided, where she would text him and like ask him how he's doing, if he needs anything, and like stuff like this. And also, like, I would not understand the guy sometimes, because he will be wishy-washy, and then he will be asking for stuff, and then he wouldn't give anything back, and I'll be like, that's not the right treatment for such a like good person, because Terra always treated me nice, and I would not understand why would that person not wish what is the best for her, but actually try to pull her back into the other side, where like it's probably like not the best place for her. Mostly after everything that already happened, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And so so she had told me that, and that's when I was like, okay, well, I'm feeling this. And then I end up getting into this academy. I was like, you know what? I do want to change. I had met this academy, and everyone there was such a good vibe. And I was like, I want to completely change. Like, all these people are very successful. They're living good lives. And I had, finally noticed that my crypto was honestly doing really good. And I was like, you know what? I want to learn more about this. And I also want to figure out what I can do with it. And so it was just like, that transition was still even hard though, because it was like every second I was like, is this really what I want to do? Like, maybe I should go back. Maybe I should run. And I think me and Emma didn't like talk for a little bit. I was like doing my own thing. I ended up talking to somebody else. I was talking to somebody else for a little bit because I was like, forget him. I'm going to talk to this one guy, and I was still, doing favors for money. And I was like, I just need to quit. I just need to 100% put all my faith into my cryptos. And I started doing more research and started, I'm trying to think of...
When you put your face into yourself and your hard work instead of relying on other people tell you that you're worth it and stuff like this, you finally you understood that you control the environment around you, and you're better than anything pretty much. And afterwards you kind of powered up, and people around you were powerful, and that also helped you to grow and
Yeah. I definitely feel that. I definitely feel like you, for sure, out of everyone, has the biggest influence on me. Just because, I had people that I could talk to, but nobody that I could relate to. And I felt like for some reason we could just relate.
I'm all about self-love, and I think that people should love themselves more, and when love is around, it's easier to just communicate. And I think you were on the same kind of vibe. You never wanted to hurt anybody. You were always nice, you were always sweet, and for other people as much as for yourself. Maybe sometimes you wouldn't be so much for yourself as much as you were for other people. And I think that's what important, that you love yourself.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Don't make me cry. But it was just like I said, it wasn't easy, but I'm honestly glad that I did it. And I honestly I'm very grateful for her and for the transition that I did. And I'm still going through it. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm still going through it, because I for sure dropped everything that I was doing. But it's now we can kind of help each other, which is amazing. We've been talking today about things that we could do to help each other. Because I did try to get her in the academy, and she did join.
Yes,
and that was amazing. But, she also needed, I had already made my money off of crypto, but she still needed to make income still coming in, because she still had bills to pay. She still had all this, that she had to pay for. And I was I'm learning, and I knew kind of everything, and I felt sometimes I get just too overexcited, and I feel like people know what I know and they don't, and I like to push people. And y'all, she screamed at me one day. It was horrible. I was like, wow, this is a different side of Emma that I've never freaking seen before. I was like, okay, I really pushed her. She's really on her edge right now. Okay, I'm gonna back off. And I was like, okay, let me just, how did you really, explain to them how you felt at that moment when you screamed at me.
I felt like I've been a little bit pushed to the corner where I cannot get through without a big explanation why exactly I didn't want to go through with the thing, whatever we talked about.
Well, tell everyone exactly what you do every day, what, especially at that moment in time that you were having to do that day, so that way they kind of know wow, why did you push her? Why did you push her? She was already doing so much.
Well, I do pretty much I am pretty much a wifey material, and
yes,
I clean, I cook, and I also do OnlyFans, and I do Instagram, and I do TikTok, and it's all requires a lot of time and a lot of preparations and a lot of mindset for it. And sometimes I might be too busy with my things, and plus I was out of the academy, and like I wasn't like really wanting to go back because I wasn't sure I want to do that, because like it wouldn't fit into my life because it's so much studying, and like I didn't have money, and like it was just like that. And like we talked about it, and afterwards yeah, I've been like busy that day. I was like cleaning, cooking, I was preparing stuff, and we kind of started talking about it, you know, and I was like, I don't really feel like I didn't say I didn't feel comfortable with that. I said like I don't really like that, pretty much what I said. And I didn't really explain myself well, I guess, but like I just didn't feel like I should have, because it was something really private for me, something I didn't really want to talk about. And like, yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, I definitely remember that. So when you do like do you have like set days that you do you were doing YouTube, and your set days you were doing OnlyFans? Were you trying to push it all into one?
Pretty much I will separate my day into sections of the stuff I do, and I will, because I had to post every day on TikTok, like 10 TikToks a day, and I had 3 different accounts, which like pretty much bumps to 30 TikToks a day. And then I had YouTube channels that I post every week, and that requires pretty much the whole week of me taking videos and me like putting it all together, putting the music on. You know how it is, you do YouTube, it takes a lot of time. And then cooking takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it does. And she's a real good cook, you guys. The best cook I've ever. I have, like, I don't know how, but she's teaching me, and I love that she is my best friend, because today she taught me some things that I didn't know, and it was amazing.
And she taught me some things I didn't know, because I didn't know how to do that thing you showed me with the seed.
With the avocado, how I got the egg, we'll call it the egg, the seed out of the avocado.
Yes.
Like I showed you how to stab it, and you were scared at first, but
I love that we can learn so much stuff from each other. But like, yeah, like my life was just really busy, and I wouldn't separate it day by day. I would live it through like the whole, it's like a life goes like all the way through the day, like every day. It restarts, you know, and you do the same things over and over.
Yeah.
But if you separate it into the different days, you're like, okay, I will do just this one thing today, and then I will do the other thing tomorrow, because you will do it, and then you will be like, okay, I did this, you know, and then you will not fit into the schedules, because in the next day you will be like, well, it's only one thing I have to do today, so I'm gonna do tomorrow. And after tomorrow, if you had tomorrow as a free day, you're gonna, oh, I have a free day, I don't really, you know, you're like, oh, I can sneak to this free day, do it on the free day. On the free day, you're like, oh, it's my free day, I have to work tomorrow, I don't want to do it. And so you put stuff on the next day. So that's why I will do everything every day, from like a beginning to the end of everything.
So you were doing like OnlyFans, TikTok,
YouTube recording,
all in one day.
thinking.
I mean, I get it, because I remember you explaining to me when I first, you know, started to do my TikTok again, and you were like, I make this many TikToks a day, and I was like, there's no way. I do not even want to spend the time making 70 TikToks a day.
But it does pay off, though. It does really pay off if you really do a lot of stuff.
And honestly, it really did, because that one ended up blowing up, and until I got banned. But I ended up getting like, I ended up getting up to like, how many?
60 something? Wasn't it 60?
Yeah, 60.
67K?
Yeah, 67,000 followers. Like I was, and then one of the TikToks ended up blowing up and ended up getting like 200,000 followers. And I was like, oh my gosh, I called her. I freaked. I was like, it worked. It finally worked. And it was so great, because we got to like be excited together. Like we were winning together. And I know that is something, one reason why we get so well together is because we both want each other to win.
We love, like, when one of us gets something good in their life, we both support that. I think it's really important into the friendship when you actually get happy for another person, and that's why I appreciate her a lot, because she always wants the best for me, and she's always happy for me.
I don't even know what I felt like I was gonna ask you another question about the daily stuff.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. So that way we don't, or we could just move on to I'm I'm trying to think where we even left off before TikTok.
Just talking about the day and like that our thing we talked and we stopped talking for a little
Oh,
bit
yeah,
after
yeah.
a while.
Yeah. And honestly, like, even now it's still hard because like we both still have separate lives. Like, I am focused on work. I'm focused on, still making more money. But I feel like today we kind of separated our differences, but we still kind of got together and figured out how can we make this work? How can we still hang out, be friends, and still help each other win? And I love that. I so love it because I just know it. Us together, y'all, today was the best day. Everything in the past 2 weeks, it was like since I haven't been hanging out with her, I've had some bad luck, and I don't post about my bad luck on Instagram, or I try not to, but I lost my wallet for 2 weeks. I didn't have my cards. I didn't have my car keys. Also, somebody stole the rug that I had gotten that says F off, but that's my favorite rug, and I have it for a reason so people know, not to bother me, because I'm a busy person. I don't want to be bothered. Like, I'm a social person, but when I'm home, like, that is my sacred place. That's where I am, and I just love it. So obviously I don't want people just coming up to my door and, knocking for, not like people were doing that anyways, but I just loved the mat that I had. It's like me. And so all this, like, bad stuff was going down, like, and it was like just today, my wallet was found. My wallet was found. I'm going to say that 3 times. My wallet was found because, for one, that my key was like $500. So to have an extra key now, again, to have my ID, because I was going to have to go through so many different obstacles just to get a new ID, because I don't know what the course you have to do to change your name to Texas, but I still have an Arkansas ID. So I've been meaning to do that, but I didn't have my ID, so I was like, this is going to take a minute. But now that I have it, I can, move on and get my license changed to Texas, finally. And today somebody knocked on my door while we were working out. And I had ended up putting a sign on my front door saying, can you please, I don't even remember what it said.
Could you please give my mattress,
my rug back.
Your rug back.
Yeah, my mat back. And it said, please. And somebody knocks on my door today while we're working out. I answer it, and he said, hey, can you tell me what your rug looked like? And I was like, yes. It said F off, and he said, I have it. And he was like, this guy had been stealing, stuff around the apartment complex, and told him that he needed to stop doing it. And so he was like, I will be back. He brings me that mat. I was so happy. And so still the day keeps going by. Before we got in the car to come do this podcast, I had mentioned to her about a trade that I did last night, and I said, I was on this live video last night, and the guy said it was going to hit 60K. He didn't say to buy into it or anything, but I just kind of knew. I was like, this guy's really smart. And if he says it's going to go up, and right now I think it was at 55,000 Bitcoin, by the way, that was the coin. And it was at 55,000. I was like, you know what? He said it was going to hit 60,000. So I first bought one for like 2 cents a share. And I was like, what am I doing? If I'm going to go all in, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to take the risk. So I end up putting in another trade, so for 5 cents a share. And sure enough, when I checked it on the way here, they both ended up being positive. Like, I think one was like, I can't even remember the numbers, but I was like, you know what? I'm not letting you go back home. You can just stay with me. Like, you are like a positive magnet for me, like a good luck charm. Like,
I'm a rabbit's feet.
a rabbit's foot.
Yes.
For
Rabbit
sure.
for the luck.
For sure, and I love that. Like, and I just know, even better things are going to come. Like, this weekend, I know that I am going to steal her away from her boyfriend, and because I like to help people, you guys. So when I tell people, about this academy, I honestly don't need anybody to make money off of. I'm just trying to help people, and even Emma sees that. She knows that I'm just, I'm doing the good for everybody else, because that's just who I am.
Yes, when she invited me into the academy, it was really a good opportunity for me. I just couldn't take it right away. But she always had me on the backside. She made sure she hit me up. She made sure she hit everyone that she knows and cares about, to let them have that opportunity in their life, you know, because she really does care about them. And she's just the sweetest person. She gives chances to people who doesn't even deserve the chance.
Aww, she is so right too about that. Oh my gosh, so right. Because some people, they don't. Some people they don't. And I learned that. I've been learning. I'm learning to weed out, some people. But it was crazy that I was up and, God, what was I saying right before? We were talking
your Bitcoins, your
Oh yeah. So my Bitcoin, was up, and I was talking about how I wanted to help people.
Yes.
So it's not like I pushed her to do any of the stuff, but it's I see what this stuff does for me, and I see what we do for each other. And so, because she has brought so much good luck charm for me this weekend, I'm stealing her away from her boyfriend, because, she wants to do more for her TikTok, for her OnlyFans and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I have all these Halloween costumes. I want you to use them. I want you to use them for your TikTok. This weekend we're going to go to the state fair, which we're very excited about.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. It's going to be my first fairy tale. Right?
Your first state fair.
State fair. Okay, it's gonna be like a fairy tale anyways, because we're gonna have so much fun and we're gonna try all the things I haven't tried, which is gonna be exciting.
Yeah, I am so pumped. And I just know that since all the good luck charm that she has brought me today, I want her to win this weekend. So I'm gonna make sure to I told her, if you need help, putting on something, let me help you. Let me, if you need a judgment, or, here, let me share all your, I'm going to share all your stories. I'm going to make sure people are following you, because I want her to win too. And so,
we're going to win together.
Yeah, we're going to win together. I am super pumped. Really pumped. I'm trying to think what we should get into next. Oh God, what should we get into next? Because we've gone over the transition. I'm just trying to think. You think we should end it and wait? What are we at right now? Ooh, we're honestly at a perfect time.
Yes, actually, we did everything really good.
I think we should save the rest of it for the next one, and maybe they'll want to hear, how our weekend went, and in 2 weeks, a lot will happen.
Yes.
For sure. We'll do the podcast. Oh, our birthdays.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about our birthdays
so
real quick.
Too.
Let's talk about our birthdays before we go real quick, because I am so excited for my birthday. Last year I ended up going to Vegas for my birthday. I ended up staying the night at this guy's house. They both had to work the next day. So I ended up drinking alone on my birthday last year. That was probably I still had fun somewhat, but not as much fun as I usually would. So this year, my brother and my sister-in-law invited me, was like, hey, if you want, we're going to Mexico, around this time. I said, that's my birthday, but I'm definitely down. And so about 2 months ago, they were like, hey, you still want to go? I said, yes. This is for sure something I want to do. I'm going to celebrate everything that I have done on this birthday, and I'm really excited. And her birthday is the weekend that I come back, so we are definitely going to celebrate, and I'm definitely going to let you guys know how all that goes when we, move on to more podcasts. But for sure, the next one will be like right before we leave, and we'll kind of go over, what, I don't know, we'll figure out what we're talking about when we get to the next podcast. So, but thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned for next week. Emma, do you want to say anything?
Thank you so much for listening to us, and I'm sure I will speak for both of us. We wish you the best day ever. So thank you.
Thank you guys. Stay tuned.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! We did it!
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was so good, y'all. This is gonna go. Actually, we just